Hello, everybody. Hi, Elaine. I'm glad you made it. Yes, I am well today. Amazingly, I am so well today. Yesterday, I think I got again some heat exhaustion because I pushed it real hard to finish my stupid driveway. Finish cleaning it. And yesterday was hot. We had like 105 heat index. And I was doing some stuff for like 10-15 minutes, coming back inside for half an hour, going back out, and I was by 4 something, I was completely wiped out. And but I finally finished it, so no more issues. My worry was that I had to finish it yesterday because there was number one, we were supposed to have thunderstorms and rain, and we did get rain last night, and this morning it was 68 degrees. Oh my god. But I did really good because yesterday, while I was finishing, the city inspector actually stopped by. So yeah. Anyway, so as you can see here, I thought of doing a little bit of a beach themed. I know a lot of us won't manage to go to any kind of vacation, so I thought, why not bring a vacation to us? So this is just a plain skinner blend made with white and ultramarine blue. And I am going to get it on the thinner setting up. And then I'm going to simply fan fold it. This will be one of the main things to first start. And with this, we are going to make some ocean stuff. There we go. Yeah, and I was looking, it's amazing for June how much more bad weather is still going on. Normally by now, things are usually calming down, but I guess not this year. It's that El Nino thing, I guess. So as you can see, I am flattening it pretty much. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it with the white side up. And sorry, you go with the blunt part. Hold on, let me get it to stick to the... And you do as many of these little creases as you can. You don't go all the way in, so you don't cut. You just want to have a ton of these little... And then we're going to get it out. Kind of, sort of get it back in. And then again get it to stick to the tile. And go one more time. How has everybody been doing? As I've been so caught up in my own little bubble trying to finish up stuff and dealing with all the pain and Tiredness, well, because of course, I mean, it's tiring to do garden work. That I didn't really keep in touch much with a lot of people. Okay, and then we're gonna do it one more time, and I promise this is the last time that we are doing it. So again, getting it a little bit thinner on this side, and then again getting it kind of flattened out and making sure that it does stick to the. And again, do not go all the way down. You only want to have this white kind of sort of going into the blue. And this is it. And try to have it about even like this. And then we're going to give it a little bit of a diagonal cut, not a lot of angle, just a little bit. Oh, I hear you. I call these, I don't call them gremlins anymore. I call them glitches in the matrix. You know, the theory of the parallel universes. I think I cut this a little bit too thin, too short. Yeah, I did cut it too short. Oh well. Things happen. No, come on. Oh yeah, of course, I was going where it wasn't a hole. Okay, so a little bit of a diagonal cut, as I said before. And then we get it all together here. And the same thing here. I'm going to, you can actually flatten it a little bit. And why I didn't do it in just in one, because I could have made it thicker and shorter and just made one sausage and just reduced that sausage. It's because I don't want it to look the same. I want all these things to look a little bit different. Again, I'm pushing this in. I should get 5 out of this. Or it's supposed to be 6, but oh well. And how much of this you do, it depends if you want to also make earrings or not. It's entirely up to you. Or if you want to make more than one pendant. Okay, and I am going to get a few of these. You can see I'm not making them all the same thinness. And then I'm going to do something else also. One of them is going to be much thinner than the others. Now, and I don't want all this with all full blue. And I don't want this either with all full blue. So now I'm going to wedge each of these. This also has a little bit too much blue. And again, whenever you have just plain blue at the end, you kind of cut it off. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of the parallel universe glitch in the matrix myself. Like stuff that I knew for a fact that I put it in a certain place and it's not there. I'm starting sometimes to think that I might be sleepwalking. But, you know, things happen. And I'm going to get this out. And don't place it, this one had too much blue. Don't place them at the same level. You do not want to place them at the same level. And see how I'm putting them like this, and I'm going to chomp these off and turn them around, and then chomp these off and turn them around. You probably already see what I'm trying to do here. And one more, let's put it here. All right. So I'm going to grab, not on the thickest setting, but somewhere on the like a 4 or a 5, because I am going to need to do a backing, and I'll show you how to do the backing. So I went ahead with a 4. And I'm going to cut it. Actually, should we make it just plain? Yeah, let's make it just plain rectangular. Yeah, of course I had to. I didn't go by the edges of the mirror tile. All right. And of course, I'm going to have to cut more out of this. Here I have a kind of sorter light blue made out with white and ultramarine blue. And you saw I kind of sort of fan folded it. And I am going to actually do this because it's not perfectly mixed. So it's not going to be a very noticeable wave, but there will be a wave. And you see I'm doing it away from the base. And you want it to be fairly thin because you don't want a lot of weight here, because we are going to have the backing and resin as well. But I don't know if you can notice, but there are some little lines here. Yeah. It's not perfectly mixed. There are little lines here, and this is exactly what you want. And then I am going to about the right size. Even a little bit thinner. And now we are going to grab some slices. Actually, let me, because you want these slices to be fairly thin. Again, because we don't want this to be. But I am going with a driftwood type of actually no, I already placed it. Let me place it down here. And you want the ones on the bottom to be slightly thicker than the ones on I'm going to cut from this side because I don't want them to be the same. As I was saying, the ones on the bottom have to be a little bit thicker than the ones on top. And now I'm starting to go very thin. Place this here. I think this should be good. And now comes the getting it even better part. And we can go with it through the pasta machine. Go thinner and thinner until you get to the proper. Alrighty. I know it looks like I made too much, and I did, but it's going to be fine. And just you'll see the edges of what's underneath. Just go ahead and cut. The one on top is not straight. And there we go. And I do have plenty to make some earrings. And now what I'm going to do is make the little driftwood stuff. And you want to make a sausage about a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch. Or you can get with, actually, let me show you a different way. I'm going to go with the thicker setting. And I'm going to stack it. And you can do any kind of big jump ring to hang it. All right, so the way that you go is like this, and then you fold it. Let me fold it away from it. So using a toothpick, it is a little too thick, isn't it? Let me see. It is too thick. Let's go a little bit thinner. Actually, let's go with one thickness. I'm sorry. I'll be honest with you, I didn't try this this specific way of placing a faux driftwood frame, but we'll get there. I mean, it was all just in my mind. Okay. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do it all in one go, except for the backing, of course. And again, I will show you how to do the backing. So what we want is like a 3/4. So just a little bit more than half, a 3/4 thing. And you want to get it against the And of course, you don't have to do it in one go like I'm doing it here. You can first do this, bake it, and then do the, because the way that you want it to be is to practically, you can see it better here, to practically have it come over. But one thing that we need to do is to give it a little bit of a cut here. At a 45-degree angle. And again, it doesn't have to look perfectly perfect, because generally speaking, stuff that's like more homemade, like out of driftwood and stuff, is not absolutely perfectly and again, on this, the same thing. You kind of roll it around. Hold on, let me get my jacket off. I was outside before starting this, and it was a little chilly with 68 and the light breeze. Okay, so the same thing. And once again, we want to be a little bit over half. And go with it against the edge. And -45 angle. Make sure that it is against the base real good on all sides. And now this needs to be just a tad thinner, less wide, just a tad. And the same thing as the others. Okay. Actually going to cut it here before placing it on. And one more. And then we are done with the frame. There's one thing I'm going to do after I place the resin, or part of the resin, because doing it in one go, using the chalk pastel on this is not the best thing, because some of it will fall on the water. And don't worry if you get these little cracks, because you're gonna have to make little cracks anyway. Okay, now before we do anything else, as I said, I'm going to have a little bit of resin put in before continuing with the with the driftwood. So you want a super, super tiny. Now, I have to tell you that there are very tiny seashells, and I think I have them in my Amazon influencer store in the. Give me just a second. In the inclusions. So let me take you with me. There should be inclusions. Resin inclusions. I think that that's where I put them. If they're not here, they're in the miscellanea. Yeah, these are a little bit too big to use, okay, for this specific one. But this type of stuff, like these, and you get a ton. I mean, you can see the last time I bought them in 2019. 7 years ago, and I don't think I used a tenth of them. You get, this is how much you get, and they're tiny. And the tiny starfish skeletons, they're also tiny, tiny. So you can get those, but I'm going to show you how to actually do this without buying stuff, because we are all poor right now. Okay, so I'm going to put my eyeglasses on and we can do first a regular snail. And pardon my hands, I have very dry hands because I kept working on the garden. So as you can see, I have a very, very thin strip with a wedged point. And you just get it like this, because you want tiny, tiny stuff. You don't want big stuff. So we got one little snail. And let's do another little snail. And yes, we are going to color them a little bit. And again, go around with it. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Let me try and zoom in. Some. Okay, this should be better. I'm going to try and be careful not to get off of the camera view. Okay, so I got two little snails. And then again, I'm going to go with a very thin one that is wedged. And this time I'm going to go, I used to be able to do this. I hope my hands don't betray me. Let me try actually the other way. Because this might be too much. So you go with a circle. Okay, I'm here. You go with a circle. Make a very small circle. And then smaller and smaller circles. I keep checking that to make sure that I still am in the kind of sorta. But you got the gist. Okay, let me try it differently because apparently I cannot pinch that thin anymore. Doesn't it suck when your own body doesn't listen to what you're trying to do? Old age is not fun. Okay, so once again, I have this ready with, we got little worms here. And getting it in a circle, but the thing is that compared to the other little snails, instead of going on the sides round, you go kind of like a spring. And then you pinch more and more so your little circle gets smaller and smaller. Yeah. So this should be it. And I'm going to cut the left over here. And then what you do, you grab the tip of it and you do a little bit of this. And there we go, we have another snail. Miniatures, people, miniatures. Okay. Let me do another little long snail. I should be posting something today, but we'll see how the weather lets me, because we are supposed to have some thunderstorms. Okay, this is too thin here. And I don't know what the barometer will do. Okay, so once again, I have this, right? And like for the regular snail, I start with this, only that instead of going around, I am turning it on the side. And I am rolling it almost like in a spring. Okay. It's very hard to make my hands transparent. So you can see exactly what's going on here. So once you do 2 or 3 rolls, you're pretty much done. And you can trim this at the end. And then very, very gently grab the top and gently squeeze into a wedge. Very gently, because you don't want your lines to go away. But there you go, we got a second little snail. And now we are going to make a few seashells. Let me see. Go with something that would be about half an inch in diameter, a bead that would be about half an inch diameter. And you flatten it and try and go a little bit even more zooming. There we go. All right. And now what you do is flatten it. Okay, got it in 4. And very gently separate the fourths. Okay, and now place them all with the tip of this triangle-like thing towards you. And at this point, you need a needle. And you go so a little bit against it. Okay, a little bit against it, so you push a little bit. And try to make at least 3 of this. This was not very well done, because you don't want to make cuts into it. You want to make dips. Of course, you can make them a little bit bigger than what I did here, but... And I don't know of any mold that would be this small. And then go. All right. And now we are going to do a little bit of coloring. Getting this out of the way. And I'm going to use light, any beige that you have should work for this. And I'm getting a very small paintbrush. And I'm going to get a pinkish one. Remember, when you get your chalk pastels, make sure that you get, and an orangish one, make sure that you get soft, not hard, because the hard ones will be very hard. I mean, they are hard. They don't get a very fine dust. So I'm making these a little bit lighter. Then I'm going to make these ones orangish. And on the seashells, hold on, I have, this one is not well. They look like little wormlets. And on this one, I'm gonna go more orangish. Very gently wipe them with your finger, very, very gently. Now what I'm going to do is put this aside for a moment, and I'm going to blow. I blew all of them away. All right, they are retrievable, no worries. Okay, now very gently, again, very gently, we are going to place them. What did I do with my needle? Oh, there's my needle. We are going to place them. Now I can go a little bit less zoomy. Actually got a little bit more saturation. And let's place them. And you can make the same. If you want, I can show you how to make a little jellyfish. But again, it's a matter of miniature thing. Oh, come on, get on the other side. So you just simply place them. This should be enough. Yeah, hurricane day. There you go. Okay, in the meantime, I'm going to put a little bit of resin just to cover this clay, because as I said, normally you do first this with the resin and then put the frame. And I don't want the whole deal of resin, just enough to cover the clay. So I'm going to extend it as much as possible. Doesn't have to fully cover everything. But my main thing is that I do not want, I'm going to use, and to explain to you why I'm doing this, I'm going to use chalk pastel on the frame. And if I use it, because as I said, you can first do this and then apply the frame, but I don't want you to have to wait until the whole thing is baked. So I'm doing it in one go. And if I want to use the chalk pastel on the frame, it's going, some of it is going to fall on the blue, and we don't want that, right? So I'm making sure that all the blue is covered with resin as much as possible. I did place a little, tiny bit of resin here, but oh well. Alrighty. So I'm going to get this. I did put a little bit of resin on my finger here. So alcohol real quick before it. Alrighty. And this as well. I was going to do something else for the 11th, but unfortunately USPS is not reliable at all anymore, because it took them 2.5 days for stuff to get from the city distribution center to my local post office. And I didn't have it in time, so now that the perfect day is gone, it can wait a little bit longer, right? We are waiting for that resin to get cured, and then I'll show you how to make driftwood. And it depends on what type of driftwood you want to make. I'll show you the easiest way, so that you don't need a ton of colors, because as I said, with my my chalk pastels, unfortunately this brand doesn't exist anymore, though they don't make it anymore. And not only that, but I got it years ago. I mean, I've had this for at least 10 years. I got it at Goodwill. You can still see here, $2.99. This is a Goodwill price. And you can see it's from the time they still use the old style price tags, not like they use them now. Okay, so first thing you need is to go around and make sure that, like, see, I don't have here a good... make sure that your corners are... They don't have to be perfectly together, but you want them to be together for integrity purposes. Okay, and then grab the back of your blade and do this so that it would be well against the base clay. The next thing you want to do is to insist here. You can even insist with a toothpick to get this a little bit softened. And as I said, don't worry about the little cracks, because the clay might crack when you turn it around, because this is exactly what we are going to do. And you want to go a little bit deeper. And that is what you want to do, cracks all over. And don't forget to get on the sides as well. Don't go with lines from one end to the other, because that's not how it's done. That's not how the driftwood gets aged. And you can even do a few more or less perpendicular. Just make sure you go all the way to the end. All right, now again I'm going to grab my chalk pastels and show you the easiest way to do so first and foremost you need some gray, and I'm not going to use a very thin paintbrush because this is not very small. I'm going to use not a big one, but still a little bit thicker paintbrush. So we first go with the gray. And what you want is for the gray to go all the way in the cracks. And of course, if you want, you can actually use acrylic, but make a very thin wash. And then you'll need to wipe with alcohol to wipe the top of the clay. Okay, so we did the gray, right? Then I'm going to choose a dark brown, and it's going to be the same. Go in the crevices. That's all we are doing right now, is the crevices. So go against, and it doesn't have to be even, but go press with your paintbrush against the clay, because you want the chalk pastel to go in those crevices. And then, surprise, surprise, we take some black. And do the same. Of course, in areas where you did not put the brown. Yeah, the gray is just preparation if you want. But now you see why I wanted to place the resin first. I guess I need more here. Okay. Need to clean this. And then we are going to clean the clay, because we don't want all of that there. So I'm going to place some alcohol, and that's pretty much the same thing that you're doing with acrylic. You will still need to clean it. I said that. And you can see a very pretty faux driftwood coming out. I'm going to do it first, the big ones, the big areas, and then persist a little bit more on the smaller ones. And there we go. Now I can go for the smaller ones. And that's pretty much it. Let me clean this once again. And this is the simple, of course, I'm going to get more resin here. And if you want to do it in a different way and just do the ocean thing with resin, I do have, let me see, I'm going to link it to you. Just give me a minute to find it. I do have, not sure if it's with ocean or with beach. Okay, let's try with beach. this one is for. This one is for members, I think. Let me make sure. Yeah, this one is for members. Water. Let me try with water. No. I'm trying to find. I know that I have one, but I can't remember how I named it. I have a wavy ocean cane, but I don't think that's it. No, it's not it. I'm gonna have to look for it and link it, because I know for sure that I did that effect before, but it's going to have to be, if I cannot find it, or if it is for members, I will show it to you at a later date. I'll do it for everybody. I think that in this video I did show how to make a lagoon ocean type of thing, how to make miniature seashells. I'm not going to keep you with while I do extra resin and put it on top. And how to do for driftwood. Now for the back, that's all you have to do. Put another thin sheet of white. After you bake everything, put another thin sheet of white and just do exactly what I showed you here. Yes, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next Sunday, weather permitting and health permitting, and I hope to be able to upload everything that I have to upload before then. But and I promise you I will not forget about the ocean thing. I don't even know. I think I still have it somewhere around the house, but I'm not sure. Anyway, thank you so much. I hope you'll enjoy yourself making this kind of stuff. And of course, you can take any of the elements and use them for different things, right? So have a wonderful, wonderful week and enjoy summer. Thank you so much. I love you all. Goodbye.